A man can never step in the same river twice, for it is not the same river. He is not the same man. Definitely feel like a different person, through multiple stages of my life. Like I've been totally different people.
Well, you got it cold out here, man.
Totally different people. Totally different worlds, man. Is it the world that's honestly changed? Or is my perception of it? Both, I think, both. I mean, shit, my environments have changed a lot. It's fundamentally the same thing. Have a home, have a family, certain, what you might call friends. 25 minutes from where I stand right now. Totally different neighborhood, totally different group of people. Like 10 years ago, I was like a totally different person. Remember just not taking like anything seriously at all. I used to work at the Whataburger. I was really good in the kitchen. And I guess I kind of took it seriously. I always wanted to be good at what I was doing. And so I did. I became good at it. Just making burgers and fries and shit, but I was the best there. Not to brag, it's just burgers and fries, but I was the fucking best at that shit. I didn't take relationships seriously. I had this girl that liked me. I didn't really care too much for her. But I didn't have no problem like using her for her weed or for her car or whatever. But she'd come see me at work. That shit used to always irritate me, like what the fuck are you doing here? I'm trying to make these burgers. She'd come see me at work and like stand there and watch me work. She worked at a different sandwich joint. She'd be like, wow, I never seen anybody work the grill like that before. Like, she was impressed. And I'm like, I was embarrassed, I'm back here making these fucking burgers. It's all perspective, I mean, today, I wouldn't say that I'm nowhere near being the best at what I'm doing. Definitely not. But, strive for excellence. I do take it seriously. I show up every day. I used to not. I guess that just comes with age and making these fucking mistakes, burning bridges and shit, and regret. Because even though I had that job of cooking burgers, I regret the way I left it. No call, no show on the job. That wasn't even why they fired me. That wasn't even why they fired me. They'd put up with that shit. Because when, I'd always come through in a pinch. But if I thought that they could handle that shit without me, I think, well, they needed to handle that shit without me. That was just my mind frame. Like, oh, this damn burger joint takes advantage of me. I worked so hard for these motherfuckers, and they don't pay me enough to lean on me this hard with all this work that they leave for me. Me, but honestly, the way I thought about it then, like, oh, they were taking advantage of me, but whether they weren't, it's kind of irrelevant, because I did take a certain amount of pride in that shit. Like, oh, they lean on me for all this work. I come in here, I have to clean this whole motherfucker and cook all the food and take care of the customers. I'm like, MVP in this motherfucker. But as much as I complained about that shit, I was proud of that shit. I was proud of my work ethic. Not necessarily the job that I did. Or like the people that I did it for. But it was the fact that I did it the best. So even in that situation, I had a certain amount of pride. I remember, like in trade school in high school, I had brick masonry. I had this old one-eyed brick mason teacher, Eugene. Fuck, I forget his name. It's fucked up. But Gene, he would always tell me, take pride in your work, boy. Take pride in your work. Oh, one-eyed black dude, man, taught us how to lay bricks. He always told me that over and over again, take pride in your work. And I think that meant something to me, I think that did have an effect on me. Because I was one of those whiz kids who makes the stupidest fucking decisions. I mean, you can hand me the test and I'll pass it with flying colors. But as soon as school lets out, I'm out there doing the dumbest shit. Had no direction. Had no purpose. And I think that's the only difference now, is I have some purpose. A lot of people are able to make that change, like, as soon as that purpose comes into their life. They have a child. You have a child. Shit changes. They're wise enough to put two and two together immediately. That wasn't me. My daughter was at least like 2 or 3 before I even started to get my fucking head together. I mean, I had started to, but I was still on a victim mentality. I was blaming others. Blaming the mother for a lot of our problems. Eventually, I figured out that shit was pretty weak. That shit was weak. Because regardless of, who coulda, shoulda, woulda done what, it was me in control of myself. It was me who fucked up all the things that I could have prevented. It was me. Some of us have grown quite a bit, and like I said, like a different person living in a different world. Some people are still the same motherfucker living in the exact same world. And I don't even mean the south side, I mean just the whole perspective of life. Back then we were blaming each other. Now I learned how to blame myself. Learned how to take accountability. And that gets bigger and bigger all the time, that accountability. you know? Because at first, back in the day, I couldn't even be accountable for the things that I did. I would blame my actions, my reactions, on somebody else. Oh, it was her fault that I reacted that way because she did this and that caused me to do that. Live and learn. Now it gets all the way down to my thoughts. And like the attitudes, the energy that comes from my thoughts. A lot of the shit we imagine in our head about what people think or feel about us. But then on the other side of that coin, a lot of times people can pick up on our thoughts and feelings towards them. It's not too long ago, had these negative thoughts and feelings. Shit, I can think of a situation today. I have these thoughts about people. And I withhold energy, even just withholding my energy from them. They pick up on that shit. They realize low-key treat them just a little bit differently than the others. Man, but how egotistical is it that when we assume that? I assume this person is treating me some type of way. Whenever, a lot of times, motherfuckers just going through shit on their own. That's why it's so critical for me to be in control of my thoughts and energy towards people. Because, this morning I'm going through shit on my own that I've created for myself. I'm not sure about my actions. I'm thinking about things that I've done, very recently, shit that I've said, shit that I put out there on the internet. It's like, man, I don't know if that was right or not. I had to really look at my intentions. Am I justifying my actions? Am I just trying to rationalize my stuff? Or am I being honest with myself about why I'm doing and saying the things that I'm doing and saying? It's not that simple sometimes. I'm not fully aware. I'm not fully aware of why am I doing this shit that I'm doing. It's a learning experience. I feel like a new person again. Because honestly, I've just been totally clear-minded. Just for a little while now. I don't count days or nothing. I don't count days, but it was early in May when I quit smoking weed. So now it's the middle of April. So it's been over a month. But have to admit, there's a lot of new shit coming out of me. Or not necessarily new shit, but things that probably have been dormant for a long time. I need to, train myself how to deal with this. It's a lot of deeper thoughts and maybe kind of inspiration coming from me. But at the same time, it comes out in different ways. It comes out maybe just personal insights. But then external opinions on the world and other people that's, coming to the front of my mind that I have to deal with. And I'm of the opinion that I should just let it all out. Publicly as fuck. that might not always be the best. I don't know. And if it is, if I am supposed to just let it all out, there has to be like a method to it, I guess. Or maybe not. Maybe just accepting it for what it is. Just growing and learning from it. I don't know. The thing is, I said some kind of mean things about morbidly obese people the other day. It's honest thoughts that I have. But probably could have been more tactful in my delivery and offered a little bit more I don't know, sympathy or maybe just like help. So we all have vices, addictions, things that we hold on to and hold on to us that kind of keep us held down. So I was on drugs for the longest. Since I was like, soft stuff. I started like, probably the first time I smoked weed, I was like 9 years old. And the first time I got drunk, maybe a little bit older, but then I remember like steadily being a daily smoker of cigarettes and weed since I was like 13 years old. And then like alcohol, like as often as I could get it, probably since I was like 14 years old. Now I look at those things as kind of childish, being drunk. Because looking at my own life, I was doing that shit as like a young teenager. So I don't look at it like a masculine thing. I don't look at it like as an adult thing. People say they're having an adult beverage. I'm like, oh, you mean like a teeny bopper? I don't look at that shit as like an adult. Not anymore. Guess I never really considered it that critically before. But it's the same thing with food. Once I realized, I got all my I'm off of all the other shit. Because I got onto the hard shit too. I remember the first time I had cocaine, I was like 14. The first time I had crack, I was like 16. The first time I had meth, I was like 17. And it didn't stop. It didn't stop until like a few years ago. But now I'm off everything. And I see even how, sugar affects my brain. And it's interesting, and the judgments that I have on people, I don't think they're wrong, but I think it's a time and a place. Judges are only a judge when they're in the courtroom sitting behind that up on that chair, sitting behind that fucking bar. That's the only time they're a judge. When they go home, they might be somebody's dad or somebody's mom or somebody's grandpa or just somebody's neighbor or just some fucking random dude watching fucking Netflix and chilling. I don't know what the hell they do. But the point is, they're only a judge at a certain time. Everything has a time and a place. So I'm really trying to learn my time, learn my place. Here I go. Alright, well that's 20 minutes of just talking. I'm gonna get off here. Much love and respect, y'all.